All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren Merritt here at the National Weather Service in Peachtree City, Georgia, and I'll be doing your weekly weather briefing today for the week of Thursday, December 21st, 2017. So what are we going to get into today? Going to take a look at yesterday's rainfall, and then we're going to look at today's forecast. Overall for today and tomorrow, we're going to have above average temperatures, and then we're going to get into a wet period for Friday through Sunday as we get a front moving through the area. Then we'll see dry weather and more seasonal temperatures for Christmas, and then definitely after Christmas where we'll get below average temperatures and dry weather. But overall, there are no hazardous fire weather conditions expected and little change in the drought. We'll get into all of that. All right, so for yesterday's conditions, I just wanted to throw this in there real quick. As you can see, portions of northwest Georgia and then a little bit south of the metro got rain around up to about 1.5 inches to 2 inches at the highest, and then other areas were around 1 inch or less. So with that bit of rain that we had, overall we don't have any gauges in flood currently, and we're not expecting any to go into flood. So taking a look at the current conditions around the area now, the left-hand side we have the visible satellite from this morning, and the right-hand side the visibility as of around 10 a.m. So we do still have some foggy spots in southwest of our area. And as you see on the visible satellite image, we do have some low clouds, and I'm sure everyone's seeing that outside as well. We had a little bit of drizzle earlier and maybe a little bit of sprinkles. Some might have seen that as well. But for today, we do have the wedge building in the area. So here's taking a look at the current satellite imagery. This is water vapor. So the blues, the whites, and the grays show areas of higher moisture. We're a little bit drier over our area, but that will soon change come Friday as we get that moisture moving into our area before a front approaches. So taking a look at the rest of today and tomorrow, we are in the wedge. Today's highs will be in the mid-50s for most of the area, getting up to 60 further south. And then as we get into our overnight lows, they're generally in the 40s across most of the area. So the graphic on the left-hand side now shows the afternoon highs for tomorrow. They are generally in the upper 50s for further north, getting into the 60s and even the upper 60s further south. So now we'll take a look into the weekend. As we get into the overnight period for Saturday morning, our lows are pretty warm in the mid to upper 50s, so that's pretty above average. But as we get into the afternoon, we'll be in the upper 60s around the metro area, the lower 60s in the north, and up to the 70s down in the south. So the good news is that we do have a cool down coming for Sunday and then beyond Sunday as well. So looking at the lows for Sunday morning, they're in the 40s, so a little bit cooler as we get that front pushing through and the cooler air behind the front pushing in, but up to the mid to upper 50s further south. And then as we get into the highs for Sunday, they're a little bit cooler than they have been, generally in the mid to upper 50s, getting into the 60s further south. So we do have chances for rain over the weekend as we have a front approaching the area. So taking a quick look at Saturday, there is a little bit of instability that we're seeing with this system. So there is a chance for thunderstorms on Saturday. But as of now, we're only outlooked in general thunder, and that's mainly for the northwest portion of our area. So now let's take a look at those rain chances. So we're starting here with Friday evening into Saturday morning, which is generally when we'll see the precipitation starting to move in. But the bulk of the precipitation will be moving into the area Saturday and then shifting further south on Sunday. So taking a look at the next period, this is Saturday, generally all day until around evening time. We have 100% pops in the northwest and pretty high across the rest of the area. As we shift further in time, we're looking at Saturday evening into Sunday morning. We have the highest chances in southeast Georgia and central Georgia as that front pushes through. And then the same thing as we get into the overnight period on Sunday and into Sunday during the day, we have those highest chances southeast. But overall, bulk of the precip will move into the area on Saturday and then shift southeast for Sunday, but it will be a wet period. Taking a look at the 5-day rainfall for this system, we're looking at generally less than 1 inch for most areas, and as I mentioned before, this will occur all over the weekend. And then the areas like Nashville further to our northwest are outlooked in the excessive rainfall for marginal risk for Saturday. So now moving on to the Christmas Day forecast. So that front that I mentioned that'll be moving in late Saturday into Sunday will be pushing out of our area for Christmas Day, leaving us with cooler and drier air. So that's what we see on the left-hand side. We have high pressure building in for Monday, and that front is further down in Florida, pushing out of our area. But in the overnight hours, Sunday night into Monday morning, we do still have a very slight chance of precip for the southeastern portions of our area if there is any lingering moisture. But once that clears out, we'll get that cooler air filtering in. So now we'll take a look at temperatures. The left-hand side, we have Christmas morning low temperatures, and those are generally in the 20s in the northwest, getting into the mid to upper 30s for Metro Atlanta and southeast. And then our afternoon highs will be even cooler on Monday, with temperatures generally in the 40s for North Georgia, getting into Central Georgia, and then in the 50s further south. So taking a look at an extended period of time, looking at our temperatures for Ellijay, Atlanta, Columbus, and Macon. So overall, as I mentioned, we're above average for our high temperatures and our low temperatures. But once we get that front to come through Saturday into Sunday, as you can see, the temperatures start to drop. Some areas will be below freezing, and others will be just close to it, but still pretty chilly. So taking a look at fire weather concerns over the next 3 days, the left-hand side shows minimum relative humidity values for Saturday. Overall, they're pretty high, so we don't have any fire weather concerns over the next few days. But we do have some wind gusts possible on Saturday near 20 to 25 miles per hour. Taking a look at the drought summary, really not much has changed. This doesn't include the precipitation that we got yesterday. But between yesterday's rainfall and the rainfall we'll get this weekend, we're hoping that we'll see a little bit of improvement in the drought. So I just wanted to throw this in as well, taking a look at the 6 to 10 day outlook. The left-hand side shows our chances of precip being above or below average. Generally, we're kind of in a spread across the state, from a little bit above average to a little bit below average. But even more impressive on the right-hand side, we can see the probability of having temperatures above or below average. So the main thing to note is that most of the eastern U.S. will be seeing below average temperatures once we get to that 6 to 10 day outlook. So once we get to Christmas on Monday, and then after that, we'll experience those colder temperatures. So just a quick summary, we've seen some drizzle, maybe some light showers earlier this morning, as well as some fog. So we'll see that today as we're in the wedge, so we'll keep those low clouds sticking around for most areas. But after today and tomorrow, we do have above average temperatures. But then we get the rain moving in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as that front moves through the area. So we'll have a wet period then with about an inch of total rain, and we could see some thunder with that as well. But once we get to Christmas Day, it'll be drier and cooler, and then the following days as well. And with that, overall, we have no hazardous fire weather conditions expected and very little change in the drought conditions. And with that, that's all I have for today.